Fun stuff. So
Fun stuff.
today, because we were trying to think of like topics and stuff to just kind of talk about. And a couple months ago during March Madness and everything, we were doing all those brackets and everything. We made the one of like the best like playground kind of games you play with your friends. And
Yeah, for that one.
today, I was just kind of bored after I got done work and was putting together some brackets. And I guess it's going to be a little series now of just brackets every once in a while. For the next at least few podcasts, we got a couple. But for today's, because again, a couple podcasts ago, even though I kind of feel like we all have the same band that's probably going to take this, but AJR's Neo Theater being the best album since 2000, which made me think of the best bands since that time period. So I made a bracket of 16 bands. And I did, this is what the one thing I'll say on this podcast, I actually did a little bit of research to make sure all these bands, when they formed, was after 2000. And every band on here did. Because there are bands I thought of after the fact or while I was doing this, like, oh, no, they're from the 90s. They're from the 90s, even though a lot of the hits were in the 2000, into the 2000s. But starting it off, obviously the number one, AJR. Going down the one side, we got AJR Vampire Weekend. Then we got KG Elephant and Imagine Dragons. Panic at the Disco, Foster the People, Of Monster Men, and Fits in a Tantrum. Then we go to the other side, which is going to be a little more tricky, I think. The Black Keys and Fall Out Boys. Killers, Zach Brown Band, Mumford & Son, Young the Giant, 21 Pilots, and Bastille.
For the record,
that second half is ooh.
Yeah, and the second half stuff. Also, for the record, it's Fall Out Boy.
Fall Out Boy.
Anyway, the second half though is that's going to be pretty interesting.
But that doesn't make sense though. It should be boys. It's more than one person.
Oh no!
That doesn't make sense. That grammatically, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If there is one boy, if it was a singular artist, that would make sense.
Right.
I get your point, but unfortunately, it's not. It's not that. All right. Anyway, let's get started. 1 versus 16. Oh, this is a tough one.
Wimmer, here. I'll start this.
Wimmer, do you want to shock the world? Let's shock the world.
I'm not shocking it that badly. Also, in my way of thinking this too, outside of these being well-known kind of bands that people probably have heard of, if not, maybe you've heard, maybe not the band, but songs they've had. I wanted it to be not just one hits. They had either multiple hits on like different albums too. So in this one, I did AJR and Vampire Weekend. I think they were a little more popular around like the 2005 to 2010 era.
To be honest, I've never even heard of them.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you what genre they are.
They're kind of poppy, alternative kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, just based on the name alone, that makes sense.
Yes. But since AJR's been around, they've been putting out album after album, bangers after bangers. So
not only that, but I feel like they've been just dominating everything. They're everywhere.
And it's like it's like the one band, or even where at just random times I'll just get an AJR song stuck in my head. I know how like you have like the annoying song that stuck in the head. It's not like that. It's just a good song. It's like, this song's just stuck in my head now for no reason.
And then it's like even when you're like just like walking or just driving, you're like, you know what?
I'm putting it on now.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta put it on.
But I think all three of us are on the same page
AJR.
here. Yes. This next one I think's maybe a little harder for some. KG Elephant and Imagine Dragons. For me, I think KG Elephant has better hits than Imagine Dragons. So for me, I'm gonna say KG Elephant over Imagine Dragons. What are your guys think?
I gotta go Imagine Dragons.
Okay.
So many great songs are attached to that band.
Mm-hmm.
So many great songs. So many like relatable songs too can also be tied to that. So I have to personally go.
Okay. Jeffrey for the tiebreaker.
I think that's a fair point, Brian. But this is actually a lot more tough. A lot more tough than I honestly expected.
How close are you? Can I sway you at all?
So clearly, you know where I'm going.
I know where you're going. The way you phrase that, I know which way you're
Yeah, but unfortunately, so I'll put it this way: if I had to guess, it's probably like 60-40.
I was thinking, think about their older album, 2017 album. What's it called? It's Evolve. With like you have like Rise Up. You have what is it? Believer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Yeah, they had a lot of
songs.
hits
Come
on that
on.
album.
No, and don't get me wrong.
Thunder.
I absolutely love Imagine Dragons. I think they have some fantastic songs.
They do.
Just there's something about Cage the Elephant though that, and it has been quite some time since I actually even listened to them. And right when I saw this bracket that Whitmer had sent out, oh yeah, Cage the Elephant. Like I used to listen to with my brother Mike, and he introduced me to them. And
okay, so you're also a little more nostalgia on that one too. I
a
feel.
little bit. It's not necessarily just
Not complete, but still
it's not complete.
Yeah.
There's certainly some.
Think about Bad Liar. Think about how many songs can come on through Imagine Dragons, whether it's from the past 2-3 albums that are just bangers.
Mm-hmm.
That just throw you back.
I know.
That is such, it's like one of those hidden gems that you find. Like, that's so good.
But so if anything, it's worst case scenario for like Imagine Dragons in this for me. It's 60% Cage of the Elephant, 40% Imagine Dragons.
Are you holding strong on that, or are you thinking changing?
I'll put it this way. So it could change, but meaning it could change, like pushing a couple more percentage points towards Imagine Dragon. However, Cage the Elephant will win for me by the end of the day.
Okay.
But like when you would get in the car, you wouldn't be like, yo, like throwing Bad Liar, throwing Believer just to start your car, drive off, and then I just filter into more Imagine Dragons.
I mean, if it comes on, I'll absolutely listen to it. But it's like I said, by the end of the day, it's Cage the Elephant over Imagine Dragons for me.
Mm-hmm.
That'll suck.
You push our man.
Jeff sucks.
Hey,
Jeff sucks because it's.
I'll put this way:
if you went a second, I'll call you.
Okay.
You know what? I'm voting every time now. I'm voting after Brian because I know he's going to just have a petty revenge vote against me.
I could honestly, I feel some good songs out there to argue with.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever.
You're not wrong. Just anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. So the next one, Panic at the Disco, Foster the People. What are you guys thinking?
I'll put it this way: I enjoy listening to Foster the People, but I think the most well-known song is "Pumped Up Kicks."
It is.
And after that, I don't know how many people in general generally listen to them besides that one song, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha.
No, I to be fair, I haven't really listened to much Foster the People in general before besides that one song. So for right now, I'm still sticking, which I believe. I think that I'll have to listen to more, but as of right now, I'll definitely go with Panic at the Disco because I've had a chance and also just enjoy. I do enjoy listening to their music a lot. They have some fantastic songs. High Hopes is one of my all-time favorites by them.
House of Memories and Nicotine.
Yeah, he can just rattle these off,
Yes,
so.
Again, this is a close one.
Look at I made it.
Keeps on coming.
So
this is a close one. For
I can keep on gonna say, "Hey, man." The Roaring Twenties, One of the Drunks. Dying in LA is a great. Dying in LA is one of those great songs. Like,
yeah, they got a couple good songs, but for me, I like them more recent albums. I wasn't a big fan of them when they were first coming up as a band.
Was it 2000?
Yeah, some around there. But more recently, those songs I've been more fan of.
Yeah,
so this is a close one, but I'm with you guys.
So you're saying more? Yeah, you're saying more like probably 2010s
onward. Yeah,
I think their earliest album was 2012, 2013.
Really?
No, it was.
I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Wow.
I think it was mid.
Okay, well, in that case, Whitmer, 2015.
2005, my fault. 2005, my fault. 2005.
Yeah, 2005. That's the Panic!
But then they released like 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
they went 2005, 2013.
But I will say
16,
this
18.
though, for Foster the People though, I to be fair, I haven't listened to much of the music. I'm sure it's good music. I like the flow of Pumped Up Kicks, but I just unfortunately I haven't listened to enough of their songs to really have an opinion. I only know the one song, so unfortunately it's a unanimous decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. I don't have to say mine. I read about like 10.
Yes, you did.
The fact that you know at least like almost all the songs, probably all just from one album alone, that tells you who you're picking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I got really into them when my friends showed. Like I already knew about them. I already heard them before. I never got into them until like my freshman year of college.
Okay.
Which was like honestly,
that's when they were more coming out too. I feel their more recent sound was around then too.
Yeah, and once
Nicotine came out, 13.
Yeah, 2023.
Nicotine came out in
that is when the best music started.
I agree.
Getting released.
Yeah,
I agree with that one. Yeah. So the next one that you guys didn't really know was at the start of it, at least, of Monsters of Men and Fits in the Tantrum.
Yeah, so before we got started, I was telling these guys, like, I could not tell you. I'm just like Vampire Weekend. I've never heard of them in my life, but every so often, when someone's like, "Oh, like they have this song," I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe if I heard it, and as soon as I heard the first beat, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
like, yep, that's them."
I got you.
Mm-hmm. There's even times where with Fits in the Tantrum, sometimes where I just get it mixed up with Panic at the Disco because their sounds are so similar.
I could see that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But for me, it's Of Monsters and Men for this one.
Yeah, Of Monsters and Men for me, it's again, unfortunately, another unanimous decision because just like with Foster People, I've only heard the one song, Fits in the Tantrums. I've only heard that one song that you had played, Wimmer. I don't even know what it's called, but I just know the sound of it.
It was called The Walker.
The Walker.
Walker. Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
that's like really
generally.
They have the Walker. Hand Clap was a popular one too.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, you know what? I think I probably have heard of Hand Clap. Yeah,
you have. If you've ever gone to like a sporting event, every once in a while, people will do like the clap from the song.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. Next side. So we're done the one side. Now we're moving on to the other side of the bracket.
This side to be. This
is going to be
a lot of. I have a feeling we're going to try to really sway each other. In some of these
we
ones,
are.
Because like,
I already know where one Brian's going to try to persuade me.
Which one?
First one. Find out. You'll find out.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. There you go. All right. On this side, we got the Black Keys listed as number 2 versus the ranked 15 Fall Out Boy. Whitmer, any more thoughts on their name alone?
Just because of the name alone, I'm not letting them advance. It's petty, but fuck them. It's boys. It doesn't make sense.
I agree.
We're talking about one boy.
Grammatically, it's wrong. I get
Grammatically, it's incorrect.
This one, I have to go Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boys.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm more on the other side on that one.
Nah,
that's a big time upset. 15 taking down 2 for you, Bri.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Cinderella Story.
Not an easy decision, but I'm not a huge fan of either of these bands either.
Okay.
Like they're just like, if they're on, I'm like, some of them have great songs, like, oh, it's great, but I'm not gonna be like going out of my way.
You're not gonna search your way. Yeah, search out for them.
I'm not gonna like sometimes when I get in the car, I'm gonna swing down to one song I want from a band and I'm gonna just play it.
Yeah.
And neither of these bands are gonna be.
I got you.
Yeah. They're not even gonna be the top 6 songs I probably queue up. Top 10 maybe. I'm not gonna queue up.
Okay.
If they come on, they come on.
Right.
But they're not even on some of the playlists I have. So I'm not gonna fight anybody on this one.
Yeah. What were you, Jeff, on this one?
For me, 1000% Lonely Boy. Lonely Boy. Sorry, that's the song.
That's the Black Keys. Yes, I'm the same way on that one.
Black Keys. Sorry about that. Lonely Boy is one of my all-time favorite songs by them. One Great Feeling.
It is a good song.
Howlin' for You. Those are just some great songs overall. I will always love listening to those songs. Yes. There's all around fantastic songs. I've never been a big fan of Fall Out Boy, to be honest. So,
no.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of songs like maybe that would like Dance was a great song.
Again, that was okay. That was also like the mid 2000s when that song and all that kind of
when they were better.
Were huge.
I think when they were.
Because I feel like later on they try to be a more like Panic at the Disco with their sound.
So they kind of changed.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like their 2014, 2015 album, American. It's not American Psycho. American Beauty.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good album. Like Centuries was a great song. But again, they're great songs. They have a couple here and there. I'm like amazing.
Right.
But I'm not gonna fight anybody on this one. I don't care about these two bands.
So next one,
I don't care.
Let's move on to the next one then. The Killers at 7 versus Zac Brown Band 10. I could go either way.
I might as well go first.
I don't know. Come back to me.
You already don't know?
I don't know. I really don't. I like these bands both so much.
Really?
I had one over the other, and I was like, I'm not sure actually anymore.
I was gonna say, I thought this was gonna be a clear cut Zac Brown Band all the way for you.
Oh no, they're a great band. I was good to see them in concert. Not too long ago, but COVID hit and I couldn't go. Yeah. But but a couple of my friends were going to go to a Zac Brown Band. Don't get me wrong, great song. Toes in the Sand. Just all ground great music. Tomorrow May Never Come is a great song. But the Killers, Andy, You're a Star, Mr. Brightside, like so much nostalgia.
Mr. Brightside is where it's at.
Yeah, but that's also so played where like I'm like. A lot of people are like, oh, they're pumping up. Like everyone knows it, but like, the album with Andy, like Andy, You're a Star. Like that's a great song, and so much nostalgia is on those couple albums.
Right, it is
printed out early in the 2000s, 2010s, whatever. I remember when they came out, and I'm like, I want this. Still, they were coming out when iTunes was still making you pay $1.29 on iTunes to purchase it.
Yep, they still do.
So. I don't know. Someone go.
I'll go first.
I know what you two.
Whitmer, go ahead.
I was actually going to go Zac Brown Band. And my thinking on this is,
okay,
I can actually see that. For you, oddly enough,
I like the Killers, but they're not one I'm going to kind of like Brian, the last one. I'm not really going to search them out. They do have good songs. I get it. And for like the mid 2000s to 2010. They were pretty much huge, have hit after hit and stuff like that. But Zac Brown Band, the thing that I like about them is, they're country, but they have that ability to change their sound with every album.
When they remade some songs from The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Great, and that's what I like about it.
That I didn't know.
They had that ability to do that. So I think that doesn't make them so one-dimensional, and that's why I kind of like them. That's kind of why I'm putting them a little ahead for me.
I respect that. I like that. That's a real solid answer there, Whitmer. For me, it's forever. At least in this matchup, forever 100% the Killers. I just, for anyone who knows me. Now I know Zac Brown Band's technically it's like a country/country rock band, right? Yeah. Am I getting that right? Okay. Yes.
I want to call him rock.
He's more so country, right?
Yeah, more country. But.
Okay. I mean, they are 100% a country band, but I wouldn't put them under a country rock.
Well, right. That's why I got confused because I was because when I saw the bracket, I was doing some research on it, just on my own, just to kind of look to see, more about it, but the band, because I've always been under the impression that they've always been just the country,
Right. I think if you look it up, they're either ranked like country/rock or country/pop.
Well, that's exactly what it said online. It's country/rock, and I was like, okay, I didn't think they were really rock at all, but okay.
But it's country rock. It's not rock. It's
gotcha.
It's not. It's gonna be country It's gonna be rock implemented or pop implemented into their country. Like musicians.
But the very few songs I've heard I think we talked a few times that when we because whenever Brian and I hang out, we listen to music a lot, and same thing with Whitmer, and every so often like Zach Brown Band song might come on, and I kind of just go with it just because I'll put it this way: if everyone likes what's on, I'm not gonna, and unless it's a song I absolutely despise, I'm not gonna change it right now. Like,
no playlist.
Yeah, no playlist.
There's no music,
but no. But for me, I've never been a fan of country. Period. I just the kind of music I just can't get into it.
I'm kind of the same way, but if there's good country, I'm not gonna. It's good.
There's a very select few songs that are actually country that I found out. I'm like, oh, I actually like these songs. Like there's any Johnny Cash, for example. Love Johnny Cash. And then I'm trying to think what else, but and even for like Zach Brown Band, there are a few that I actually just I don't mind at all. I can actually sit there and actually enjoy it. I won't go out of my way to listen to them, but if it's on, I'll listen. I'll just kind of suck it up and just whatever. But yeah, for me, and plus I do love the Killers. Mr. Brightside, like you mentioned, When You're Young is one of my all-time favorites by them. There's a lot of very, very good songs by the Killers that I really enjoy, and I would definitely pick them over Zach Brown Band for me. And now, like you said, that's me.
And now the tiebreaker. Has he made a decision?
Oh shoot, that's right. No, Brian didn't. I forgot about that. That face.
That's the face of unknowing.
Clearly. All right, can we get it to like? I feel like in this one, it's gonna be like a 51-49 kind of deal.
I will say that based off of the others on this branch, on this column, this rows, they won't be making it out in the second round.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. Like neither, no matter who's the winner here, they're not making it out.
I will say I will have to go with the Killers.
Okay.
Ooh.
Killers because
of this nostalgia you said.
Not just nostalgia, but Sam's Town and Hot Fuss are just so great songs from early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach Brown Band really only has like one really solid album.
Okay. I'm actually pretty shocked. I thought straight up it was going to be.
I get that though. I can get that.
Pull up. No, we're done. Zach Brown Band for him. Wow.
I'm more of a lot of my favorite country music are artists. They're singular artists who might move, who might feat with a band, but they're more. It's like Dierks Bentley kind of thing, or it's they're gonna be, or I don't look at them now. Thomas Rhett. They're gonna be individualistic artists. They're not gonna be a band.
I got you.
Sure. Right.
So
there you go. Yeah. Wow, I'm honestly very shocked that the Killers won this one.
Next,
we got Mumford and Sons ranked 3 against Young the Giant 14. Another disclosure: I'm sure that there's songs I've heard by them. I don't know the band personally, or like just in general. I don't know the name, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Yes, both bands I do like. I do like Young the Giant. They have
what kind of
good songs. Brian played a little earlier.
I played you a song, Cough Syrup, which is I think their best song.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also probably the most cough syrup. It was from
that name alone really stands out. I'm sure I've heard of it. I don't know,
It was like our freshman year of high school.
Yeah, that's when they were.
Or sophomore year. It was like 2011.
Yeah, 2010. That album came out.
Oh,
it had cough syrup on it. My body.
Listen to it. Once we get off the podcast, I'll listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mind Over Matter was another pretty good album.
I
have a couple good songs. But for me, I
have to go. Sorry, go
ahead. I was gonna say I'm gonna go Mumford though.
For me, it's 1000% Mumford. I love Mumford & Sons so much. There is a time where, and I don't get that excited about music often, but to especially like when it comes to like new albums, oh cool, I'll check that. But when in 2015, I think it was, there was that I can't even remember the album of what was called. I gotta look up real quick. Sorry,
Little Lion Man. Little Lion Man.
Wilder Mind.
It was Sigh No More. That's what it was.
Sigh No More.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the album.
Yeah, no, the album.
That is the album. Yes, Sigh No More.
Yeah, Little Lion Man. That's not the album. It's for one of the first ones. It's something else. Yeah. Anyway, but my point is though, like that was one of the first times I was genuinely excited. Like Matt and I remember. Like we were actually hanging out when the album, or I think it was they gave a sneak preview or something like that to the first few songs of the album, and we were just chilling in my basement and just listening to them, and we were just like sitting there like, oh my god, like this is fantastic, and I absolutely love Mumford and Sons. It's gonna be very, very tough for them to lose for me. In this bracket already, I'll put it that way. But they are beatable in this bracket. I think I got to look at some of the other options and what the matchups would be. For right now, Mumford and Sons for me, they're going to go far, at least in my opinion.
I'm going Mumford and Sons as well. I went to a concert by them. They're
great live. They are really great.
The only thing
I would imagine just listen live. I can't even picture that. I was imagining it. It would be unbelievable.
The only thing I'd say is like if they had to choose one song from them to face off Young the Giant, I'd have to choose Cough Syrup from Young the Giant.
I get that.
After, like, if you had to do one song, I'd be I gotta go. But overall, musically, Mumford has better music, especially since I went to a concert.
Yes,
so there you go. All right, I'm gonna listen to Cough Syrup when and probably Mind Over Matter when we're done here. But because I know the name Cough Syrup, like the only time I've ever heard of it is with with this one because it's such a well known at least song name. Like right when you guys sound, like I definitely know that one.
All right, so the last one of this round, 21 Pilots at 6 and Bastille at 11.
Ooh. I'm already saying I'm going last because I'm still making up my mind.
So am I.
Ryan, do you know what yours is?
I haven't listened to some of these guys, both these guys in a long time.
Mm-hmm. This is also true.
I would say I'm going to have to go with Bastille.
Okay. Because
in reality, Bastille really only had like one good album.
Yeah, their first one. That
Blurry Face back in high school, I think it was, or beginning of college.
Yeah.
I think it was beginning of college. I can't remember, honestly. It was beginning of college, actually. And even then, they only had like a couple good songs.
Yeah, 2013. You had Pompeii on there.
Pompeii was a great song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where I had to go. Is like, okay, Bastille has better music. I think Bastille has not only better music, but more of a genre to choose from. So,
okay.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah,
I get that. Yeah. So for me, because I do think Bastille has some good songs, but a lot of them are like just a hit, not necessarily came on an album. Like you have Happier with Marshmello, that was a good song. But for me, I think.
But they're still a band. They're still their song.
True, it is. I'm just saying in general, that's a good song from them.
Okay.
But for me, because I think 21 Pilots it's close, but I think they have at least 2 albums that I think are good. And the one that came out, I want to say while we were in college. What was that album?
Blurryface.
Yeah, Blurryface.
That was back in 2014. Yeah.
2015. Oh. Yeah, that one had a couple good songs on there. And then I also liked Vessel too. That was a good album by them. So for me, it's close, but I think I'm gonna go 21 Pilots on it.
I don't know. This one's still kind of getting me because, for Bastille, for 21 Pilots, they do have a lot of good songs and probably a lot of good albums out there. But there's something about Bastille though that kind of, I think at least for the kind of music I listen to, I actually really enjoy listening to 21 Pilots, but the kind of way that how Bastille music is, I kind of think their sound, it just appeals to me more, and just something about them. I think it's just there's something about them that just kind of speaks to me more about their kind of style of music and whatnot. But 21 Pilots is still very, very good. And, I do enjoy it for sure. But I unfortunately need to go with Bastille in this one.
All right. So now the next round. So this is going to be no surprise again, but AJR and I believe it was Imagine Dragons that came out of this one.
I thought it was Cage the Elephant.
Oh, it was Cage the Elephant. Right.
Cage, I tried to convince Jeff.
Yeah.
He did.
And you failed.
Yes. And then you have Panic at the Disco and Of Monsters and Men. AJR is moving on. That's just that. I don't think that needs to be a discussion. That's just going to happen.
No, that's going on. That's moving on. Come on, move on, move along.
This one's a little more tricky for me. So for me, I like the sound of Monsters and Men more than Panic at the Disco. So for me, although now that I say that, I feel like they only have one good album though, whereas Panic at the Disco has a few.
Or Monsters and Men.
Yeah, Monsters and Men. Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
How that just happened in a span of 5 seconds.
Love it. Jeff? It is. I'm not gonna lie. It was so one-sided. But the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, it's certainly closer. I'm still going with Of Monsters and Men. I absolutely love Of Monsters and Men. I didn't listen to them very early on since high school, so this one's a huge nostalgic one. Mike, again, another band he introduced me to, and we would listen to them a lot on the way to and from high school, and he would drive me my freshman year or our freshman year, and just listen to them. Just their music is so soothing, to be honest. I have so many other songs on my beach playlist where if I'm just trying to relax, I put them on.
They are good. They are kind of a good band.
They're even just driving down to the beach in general. It's just windows down. There's some songs where they're so chill. You just want to just
I know
kind of relax.
Chill, but
and there are others. Yeah.
Can you also say on that beach playlist, you're going down to the beach, you're also playing Panic at the Disco too?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And we can certainly talk about that a little bit later at some point for what kind of music you have for your beach playlist. But for Monsters and Men, there's some songs that are so chill. You just cruise. Okay. And the other songs, you crank up the volume and you full out blast. There's a lot of good songs with them, but for album wise, one of my favorite albums is Beneath the Skin. It's 2015. They have a lot of good songs like Like the first one's six. First thing, sticks out to me is Crystals. That one's it's just that's a great one. And I think I can't remember. I think it's Thousand Eyes I like as well. But some of the other songs I like in general though is like Mountain Sound. That one's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, that's a great one.
A great one. Dirty Paws. There's some real good ones there from Monsters and Men.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying off Monsters and Men, right?
Oh, for sure, 1,000%. It was unanimous for me, but then the more I thought, I was like, oh, this is pretty close. But
right.
It's still Monsters and Men, but it was actually a lot closer than I anticipated.
I'm going Panic at the Disco.
All right.
That was
that doesn't surprise me.
That was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been to a Monsters Men concert. They're great in concert. But there's also a lot of times like they are such a soothing band. But I don't always like to listen to. Most of the time, I don't listen to soothing bands.
Right. You want to listen to some bangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So Panic at the Disco.
Yes,
that's fair. Like I can absolutely see you guys' argument for that, and I support it 1,000%. For it's just like a lot of this is my personal choice.
Basically this whole thing is yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that next side, let's do those real quick. Black Keys and the Killers.
Ooh, yikes.
I'm going Killers.
Yeah,
rolling the Killers.
Wimmer, what'd you say?
I do Black Keys, but I almost feel like you're going to go Killers on this one, but I'm not sure.
I am actually not. I like Black Keys more in this one.
Okay.
Black Keys is another band I've been listening to for a very, very long time.
So have I.
And it's kind of also one of those things like we're literally just talking about. It's like the Killers, it has some good songs that you can like really jam out to, but other ones I feel like you're kind of just you're in a good mood and it's nice and just chill. But for Black Keys, there are some that you can just really, at least if depending on what kind of mood you're in for music wise and whatnot. But like for this particular one for Black Keys, like a lot of their songs, I absolutely blast Nick. Like 9 times out of 10, if I'm not blasting a Black Keys song, like then I'm listening to it wrong. Like it's one of those bands that I always will we'll turn the volume up pretty high and just like full on jam out to it. I love it so much.
All right. Mumford and Bastille.
Gotta go Mumford.
Yeah.
Mumford.
Yeah. So then final 4, we got AGR, Panic at the Disco, Black Keys, and Mumford & Son.
AGR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going AGR again.
Yeah.
And then Mumford.
Is Mumford against who? I'm sorry.
Black Keys.
Keys. Mumford.
Mumford.
And then AGR.
I do love Black Keys a lot, but Mumford is almost unbeatable for this kind of bracket.
Right.
It's there's so many more albums and songs. I think I have every album of Mumford on my playlist just because I genuinely love listening to their music.
Yeah. And then
unanimous decision for the final.
AGR and
Mumford. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I want to see what are you going to choose? All right.
Oh my god! Are you kidding? No, trust me. I absolutely. You're not wrong. But no, I do like. I just
since you just got into it, that's why I was curious.
Yeah,